Hello, hello. This is Gerald Celente. It's Toys Day, February 11th, 2021. And here are some of today's trends in the news. The market front, a little bit down today. Dow futures, been a little bit down. But the whole thing is just, as Gregory Mannarino makes it really clear, one big monster debt bubble. And it's all in your trends journal, detailed out. The whole thing's a fraud. Everything's a fraud. It's fraud land. The market's going up. Oh, jobless claims worse than expected as pandemic-related filings surge. Not pandemic-related filings. The locking down of entire societies by low-life pieces of garbage crap that people call their politicians. Let's see. Jobless claims total only 793,000 last week, higher than the estimate of 760,000. Oh, and they jacked up the ones from last week to 812,000. So, first-time claims for unemployment insurance totaled blah, 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 blah last week as declining COVID-19 cases provided little relief for the job market. I mention this because the reason the cases are going down is because less people are getting tested. Don't say that. They may censor me because they're censoring everybody. And again, the vaccine has nothing to do with this. So a very small percentage have gotten it so far. So the reason the cases are going down has absolutely nothing to do with the vaccine. And you don't have to believe me. Even the officials say that. So what else do we have here? As we reported last week, non-farm payrolls increased as 49,000 jobs in January, and the vast majority of those, government jobs. Fed Chair Powell says Fed will keep up its support to artificially prop up the markets as it keeps pumping all this cheap dough into there. And again, Gregory Mannarino's article really sums it all up in the Trends Journal, as do we, with all the, it's just buying corporate bonds and junk bonds and government bonds and pumping this money in each month. It's a total fraud. Deficit widens as spending surges. Federal spending climbed last month as the U.S. Treasury issued another round of stimulus checks, blah, 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 blah. The U.S. budget gap totaled a record $763 billion during the first 4 months of the year, an 89% increase compared with the same period last year. Again, they're just making this stuff up. The debt bubble is huge. And that's why you're seeing, well, gold prices went down today. Again, the markets are rigged. And Bitcoin's still bouncing up there, particularly, since Musk and Tesla are into the deal. And today, just one more and more in Miami, they're starting to buy things on Bitcoin. And so it's going to keep going higher, and they're going to try to kill it. And the Canadian government came out yesterday, and they say they're going digital as well. The Looney and the Looney Tunes in charge. But the big point is, we've been saying this for how long? Going from dirty cash to digital trash. And the little jerk over there, little clown boy that's the head of the banks over there in the Canada guy that mentioned the story, people want to get away from the dirty money and we need to go digital. And that's all they're doing, is selling fear and hysteria. Investors position for bull run as commodities jump across board. They're not positioning for a bull run. Yes, the markets are going to go up. There's going to be the Biden bounce. As they unlock the economies, things are going to bounce up. Things are going to increase. We're mentioning this because there's a lot more to this. This is inflation. And that's why you're looking at commodities going up. And you're going to see the dollar going down and precious metals and cryptocurrency prices going up. It's right here. Salesforce to shrink its office footprint. I'm mentioning this because And then 54,000 employees. They're closing back all over the place, but I'm mentioning it because what's going to happen to commercial real estate in San Francisco and New York City as they all keep leaving? You're going to see a commercial real estate bust. The thing was artificially propped up again, and now this thing's going down big. Because in the new abnormal that we're moving into, with fear and hysteria prevalent everywhere, it's very important to understand where the commercial sector is going to go. And again, in our current edition of the Trends Journal, and a great cover again by Anthony Frieda, another home run that really says it. The new Valentine, the new normal Valentine. There he is, a guy all condomed up and her masked up, mask tested, vaccinated, sanitized, and scared to death. And by the way, don't forget, anytime you masturbate, make sure you clean your hands, because you don't want to spread it, to any way you don't want it to go. So make sure you sanitize. Double masks. They're telling double masks now. Oh, the double masks, sanitize. All the jerks that wear your masks in your cars and the double masks. And the guys, don't forget to put a condom on when you go to sleep. Yeah, one of the Trends Journal followers told me that one. I think it came from Confucius, he said. Mask on in car, condom on when you go to bed, and virus won't get you. I see people walking around outside, nobody on the street, snowing out. Oh yeah, that virus is in a snowflake. Fear and hysteria. Heineken to axe 8,000 jobs. Oh, great. What else do we got here? Expedia misses estimates and sign of lingering COVID effects. And of course, Expedia is very, into the travel sector, and they're very whaled down. Let's see, gross bookings were down 67%, barely an improvement from the previous quarter of 68% down. And I'm mentioning this because, again, why we tell you to subscribe to the Trends Journal and why we're different from everybody else. This is from July 15th, New York Times. Business travel could take years to recover. Yeah, no kidding. Now remember, this is August. While business travel evaporated in a flash when the coronavirus hit, not when the coronavirus hit, you stupid piece of jerk. It's when the moron imbeciles lock down everything, but they always do this. It may take 2 or 3 years for it to totally recover, far longer than many travel experts initially predicted. We have one quote after this in one industry, the economy, one after another, how they got it wrong and how we as trend forecasters got it right. I want to make this clear. Harvard, Princeton, Yale, Oxford, Cambridge, any of them, not one teaches trend forecasting. And the reason is they don't know how. And we'll teach you a history course and you can get a degree in it. You could learn what happened, but nobody can tell you what's going to happen. That's not our business. We don't do that, so we don't have to tell you. And so I mention this because it's going to be terrible. What else? Oh, Germany, they're locking down again. Philippines Airlines, 27 jobs lost. Germany, Commerce Bank, they're only going to cut 10,000 full-time employment. All right, it's not coming back. What's going to come back are, yes, jobs are going to come back that were lost. Not all of them, and new ones won't be recreated or created. So all the new people coming into the system, there's not going to be work for them. What's going out of business is gone. It's terrible what's happened. Yeah, in Spain, tourism usually generates 12% of the gross domestic product. 500 hotels reported to have closed in the past year. All right? Oh, it'll come back. It'll come back. Now, this is important. Fossil fuel air pollution kills twice as many as previously thought, study finds. This is only a Harvard study. environmental research. 8.7 million deaths in 2018. Just shy of the 9.5 million cancer-related deaths that year. 8.7 million. There's every year, millions, tens of millions of people are dying. Cancer, air pollution. But the COVID war, they got everybody freaked out. And let's not forget, we talked about in the magazine last week about all the crap they put in baby food. Yeah, that's fine. All the chemicals in the water, all the pesticides. All that's fine. All the artificial flavors, all of the artificial coloring, all of the stuff that keeps food alive for 25 years. Yet all that stuff is fine. Can't drink the water in Flint, poison water. That's okay. We got to watch out for the COVID war. Because that's all they're selling is fear. This is from Business Insider, top story on Yahoo, as I just got on the air now. The coronavirus is going to stick around forever. Get ready for the new normal. How about go screw yourself, you little piece of crap? Celente, calm down. We like to listen to Celente, but when he gets angry and loses his temper, we don't like it. Get the hell out of here. Get out of my life. Because you should be screaming and yelling about this. No. We'll just take it. Again, look at your new normal. Look at your new normal. Valentine's Day. All right? The new normal. And they're telling you to get used to it. Double masks work better, study finds. You know about that, right? How about a triple mask? How about a mask up your you-know-what? And remember, when you go to bed, guys, don't forget to put that condom on. And remember, make sure your hands are sanitized. And by the way, all the chemicals in here that go into your body, don't worry about them. They're fine. U.S. campaign will press for distancing and masks. This is only out of yesterday's Wall Street Journal. The Biden administration plans to ramp up, screw up safety campaigns focused on social distancing and mask wearing. God. On and on. Vaccine skepticism remains a barrier to getting shots to populations most at risk. About 1/3 of the Black adults say they plan to avoid vaccinations. But here we go. Amen. Amen, brother. Amen. Get that vaccination. I'm the Reverend Michael Culpepper. Big story. Today, Wall Street Journal. Big story of how the Reverend, amen, pastor gives boost to vaccination drive. Hey, he knows. He got the line right from God. Get vaccinated. And Jesus said, save it, man. Anyway, this new strain, Lord have mercy, he preached one recent Sunday to a small, socially distanced congregation and some 200 worshipers to get the vaccination. Okay, get the vaccination, new normal, everybody locked down, freaked out. We talk about all the economic and social implications, on and on. And again, Trends Journal, first magazine to call this what it is, nothing more than a lot of bullshit. Right, back in January 28th, you cover your Trends Journal, coronavirus, 106 dead in China. Next line, 1.4 billion still alive. And week after week, we said this. Anyway, just tell you how many people are dying of air pollution. Japan suffers rise in female suicides during pandemic. This is out of the Financial Times today. Not the pandemic, the lockdown created by mentally deranged, arrogant little pieces of crap. Doctors predict global mental health crisis to persist. According to a recent study of doctors worldwide, most believe that widespread adverse effects on mental health will persist when the pandemic subsides. After the pandemic, when they ended up, this is conducted by CERMO. All right? Facts are only there. And then you got another piece of little garbage. How could you Australians, people talk about America? Look at that little jerk you got there, that Danny Andrews clown. Look at that little piece of stupid moron, ignorant, ballless little boy. You ready? Breaking news. There are fears that Melbourne is on the brink of its third lockdown this morning as a cluster of cases linked to Victoria's hotel quarantine system. You ready? Were there about 4 million people, 4.5 million people in Melbourne? 13 cases, not deaths, cases in all of Australia. 1 year, little Danny Andrews. Could you count to a year? Oh, Celente, calm down. 1 year, 820 people died out of 8.36 million people, which equals 0.0128%. And they're locking down the place again. Authorities, how about shitheads? Authorities are not only concerned about the growing Holiday Inn cluster, 13 people, cases, not deaths, cases that could be asymptomatic. And the PCR tests are nothing more than by the data. But are also understood to have worried about the virus fragments detected in wastewater across Melbourne. The wastewater from the shit coming out of their mouth. A source close to emergency management, Victoria, told the Herald Sun authorities feared they had lost control of the outbreak, describing scenes as pandemonium in the agency. All the little freaks, oh, we're going crazy, 13 people. Oh, what are we going to do? You believe this? This is out of control. Out of control. So much more. Twitter blocks hundreds of accounts in India. Yep, great. Block them here, block them there. British television channel BBC World News has been barred from airing in China. Wow, how could they do that? Well, let's see why they did that. On February 4th, British media regulator Ofcom revoked China Global Television Network's license to broadcast in Britain. China criticized the ruling as politicized and warned it reserved the right to make a necessary response. But you read this article and it doesn't come out like that at all until, you ready? The very end. And that's what we do when we do our work. We read to the very end, underlining all the salient points. If you're listening to the news, you're wasting your time. And talking about getting banned, Twitter banning the farmers, by the way, that's who they're banning in India. And we've been writing about this. The protests broke out there. Farmers have been taking the streets since the first week of November. Twitter started blocking accounts in India following repeated official demands. Yeah, the government telling them to come. 500 accounts have been flagged. And this is all against the farmers. But in America, Instagram removes vaccine skeptic Robert F. Kennedy's account with 800,000 plus subscribers over, quote, debunked claims about vaccination. And a little jerk over there, a little clown boy on CNN called Kennedy a menace for labeling Fauci. Very sinister guy who turned America over to Big Pharma. Big Pharma is fine. Big Pharma is fine. And I said, listen to the news. You want to be stupid? Tune in. I like CNN. I like Fox. How about you like stupid crap? And you don't believe me? This is right out of Rupert Murdoch's mouth. This is from the Financial Times. Yesterday, Fox News plans to maintain center-right slant. How about being a political atheist and just putting the news out there? No, we're going to play to an audience. We don't care about journalism. We're prostitutes. We get paid to put out. Here's his quote. We will stick where we are, and we think this is exactly right, and it's the best thing for the business, not to give you information. It's the best thing for the business, Rupert billionaire Murdoch. The best thing for the business, not for your mind, not for your heart, not for your soul, for my money. I want more money. He goes on to say, quote, we believe where we're targeted to the center right is exactly where we should be targeted. All right. Targeted to the center right. You're targeted toward Murdoch. You got it? Yep. Tune in the news. Don't subscribe to the Trends Journal. Don't listen to Trends in the News. Oh, Celente, he gets, go get the hell out of my life. U.S. Admiral says Chinese activity has grown in South China Sea. I mention that because look at one of our top trends. All right? China, 21st century. Hey, Admiral, forget it. China, the 20th century was the American century. The 21st century is the Chinese century. Hey, Admiral, and all you Pentagon guys, you couldn't win the Afghan war. You couldn't win the Iraq war. You couldn't win the Vietnam War. You couldn't win the Korean War. Oh, that was the Chinese, weren't they? Yeah, with those SKSs. Yeah. Bop, 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 beep, bop, bop, boop. China, you're not going to stop them. But here you go. Oh, you libtards. Oh, you little liberals that love your Biden. And I love Obama, the Nobel Peace of Crap Prize winner, what he did to Libya, Syria. Boop, 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 boop. Anyway. From today's Wall Street Journal, Pentagon will review U.S.-China strategy. What a joke. What a joke, because it's the bottom line. BlackRock keeps faith in Hong Kong hub. Again, Financial Times. You know, BlackRock, that huge group out there? Yeah. The new head of BlackRock Asia Pacific operations has projected that Hong Kong will continue to be a preeminent financial center. Rachel Lord, Lordy me, said the Asian hub would play a central role in opening up China's financial system to the rest of the world, despite recent political upheaval as they lock down Hong Kong and are throwing people in jail. But we don't really care because all we're interested in is money. And BlackRock is going into China. Lord, who's moved to Asia after 4 years running the asset manager's European operations, was announced yesterday, said that the city's history and business infrastructure supported its status. Infrastructure is very hard to move, she said. It's less about politics and more about the way the ecosystem is set up. And I don't see any sign that Hong Kong loses its preeminence. Ecosystem? How about that for, yeah, ecosystem. Money. So there you got it. You can see where this is going. The 21st century is the Chinese century. They'll sell out anybody, any place. America sold Americans out under Biden with when Clinton was running the operation. I've said this in detail, written about it in detail. The GATT deals and selling out our manufacturing. Oh, we can't do business with those terrible Chinese, but we'll make sure we'll do business with them, those commies, but we'll make sure that they abide by human rights. Yeah. And people bought it. So there you got it. This economy is going to be boosted up artificially. The debt bubble, like nothing we've ever seen. Again, subscribe to the Trends Journal. There's no other magazine like it in the world. Last issue, 137 pages. The week before, over 140 pages. Not one advertisement, and tells you what's going on, what's next, what it means, and how you can prepare for the future, while all the rest are saying bullshit. All right. Thank you very much. This is Gerald Celente, and that's some of today's Trends in the News. The COVID-19 war has changed the world, but who's prepared? What's next? It's in your Trends Journal. Trends Journal subscribers are prepared. Subscribe to the Trends Journal. Read history before it happens. From the world leader in trend forecasting.